From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, October 2nd, 2016. Silver is trading at $19.17 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,316 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $612. Antiwar.com reports as part of the reconciliation package with Turkey, Israel on Friday sent some $20 million in compensatory payments into the Turkish Justice Ministry, from which it will be distributed to the families of 10 slain Turkish citizens killed by Israeli troops on the Mavi Marmara. The Mavi Marmara attack saw the Israeli military attack and board the ship, which was bound for the Gaza Strip and carrying humanitarian aid. The Israeli military claimed the crew resisted and ending up killing 10 of them, and while Israeli officials spent years spinning this as a great success, it did major harm to the Israeli-Turkish relations. In 2013, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu apologized to Turkey over the attack, and over this past summer, the two nations reached a rapprochement deal, with the Israeli compensation payment a key part of the deal, along with an easing of the blockade of the Gaza Strip. In return, Turkey has promised to return its ambassador to Israel once one is named, and has also promised not to seek any criminal or civil actions against individual Israeli nationals involved in the Mavi Marmara attack. Turkish officials say the ambassador will be named soon. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports a woman whose husband was killed in the 9/11 terrorist attacks on the Pentagon sued the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia under new legislation passed by the U.S. Congress. Stephanie Ross DeSimone filed a complaint at a court in Washington on Friday seeking reparations from Saudi Arabia on behalf of her and her daughter for the death of her husband, Navy Commander Patrick Dunn, according to Press TV. 2 days prior to DeSimone's complaint, Congress voted to override a veto by President Barack Obama on the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act, which permits the families of 9/11 victims to take civil action against foreign governments shown to be sponsors of terrorism. Obama's veto was superseded by a vote of 97-1 in the Senate and a vote of 348-77 in the House of Representatives. DeSimone's case alleges the Saudi regime had provided material support to al-Qaeda and its former leader Osama bin Laden, who have been considered masterminds behind the 9/11 attacks. Saudi nationals accounted for 15 of the 19 hijackers who carried out the aircraft attacks on the Pentagon and the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. A fourth aircraft, allegedly headed for the White House, crashed in a field in Pennsylvania. DeSimone charges Saudi Arabia caused wrongful death and intentional infliction of emotional distress. She was pregnant at the time of the attack and therefore also represented her daughter as she sought unspecified compensatory and punitive damages. Saudi Arabia had previously denied culpability for the attack, and an official of the country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act is of great concern and said that the U.S. must correct it in order to avoid serious unintended consequences. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the U.S. Supreme Court is set to consider this week a closely watched insider trading case that could limit the ability of prosecutors to pursue charges against hedge fund managers and other traders. The 8 justices, who opened their 2016-2017 term on Monday, will hear arguments on Wednesday in the case of an Illinois man, Bassam Salman, whom prosecutors said made nearly $1.2 million trading on inside information about mergers involving clients of Citigroup, where his brother-in-law worked. It is the first time in 2 decades that the Supreme Court has taken up a case involving insider trading, a crime that the U.S. Congress has never defined and has left the courts and the Securities and Exchange Commission to shape. Salman was convicted of conspiracy and securities fraud charges arising from insider trading and sentenced in 2014 to 3 years in prison. At issue in Salman's appeal is whether the government in insider trading cases must prove that an alleged source of corporate secrets, like the brother-in-law, received a tangible benefit like cash in exchange for any tip. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.